Howdy gang, I'm Dylan Rogman with Portals Magazine, and today I have a special treat for you. We're doing an artist spotlight with Miss Emily Gilhuly. She's a local artist in Surf City, Wilmington. She gets around. She's a current student at Cape Fear and was recently featured with the Cape Fear Foundation's 2022 holiday card, which we'll get into in a little bit. So, Emily, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? How did you get into art?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in art, always had a passion for it, whether it's creating it myself or immersing myself in other people's pieces of art, collecting theirs, watching my family members make art. I've always been inspired by some family members of mine, especially my mom, my aunt, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, a lot of women in the family, really.
It's in your blood.
Yeah. I also was really inspired by my art teachers growing up. They always just happened to be very encouraging, very inspiring. They always were trying to lift you up. Art class always felt like a safe place to go. I've always enjoyed trying different mediums also.
Okay, so yeah, let's continue on that. What kind of stuff do you like to work with? What's your preferred style?
Mm-hmm. So I really enjoy working with watercolor paints mainly. That's probably my favorite. I've tried my hand at acrylic and I really want to work on that side a little bit, but the watercolor being so much more loose and fluid really is attractive to me. And then also more recently working with pottery is a lot of fun for me as well.
So I would really like to talk about that head over there, Mr. Planter.
Yeah.
So how long did that take you?
So this strange character over here probably took a few weeks. I think I started by using a bowl to mold two sides of a ball, and then I formed them together. I also wanted to keep it hollow because I wanted it to be a planter. I did get some inspiration from Nefertiti, but I didn't stick to that clearly. Definitely did my own adaptation. Yeah, right, no ears. I left the ears off partly because things like that can easily break off of pieces of pottery.
All right, so how about we talk about the holiday card? So it was a watercolor, right?
Yeah. So the holiday card came from a watercolor painting that I did of Greenfield Lake. It was also entered into the Wilson Center art show for students. After that, they asked to hang the piece in the Human Resources department. So I have this piece hanging in there and then another painting as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about that other painting that you have up in there?
Yeah, so the other painting that is hanging along with this one is a blue and yellow abstract. The blue and yellow colors came because at the time I was thinking about the war in Ukraine. It was getting a lot of publicity at that time, and it was just on my mind. So I also wanted to kind of incorporate that color scheme into the painting.
So your style is a little bit more loose and abstract?
Yeah, my style is, especially when I'm working with watercolors, is very loose. I like to incorporate a lot of colors, usually as many colors as I possibly can. I really like to not have a plan and just sit with my paints, and I love splattering paint. I love, doing wet on wet with watercolors so that it loosely forms around the page.
Yeah, so a lot of experimentation, and you just like to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And that's why you like to call when you paint playing, right?
Right, exactly.
I really love that you retain that sort of childlike enjoyment with it,
Yes, yeah, I do. I love to use the word play when I'm painting because it just takes the seriousness out of it and helps me focus and just enjoy the process.
So do you want to talk about that one on the end there with the praying hands? What sort of inspired that one?
So for the praying hands, I was kind of going through a difficult time and I am a pretty spiritual person, and all I could think of was just praying hands. It was a cover-up. A lot of my paintings just start out as a little doodle, and then I might put it away for a while. And then when I come back to it, I either work with that doodle or I cover it up. Sometimes I try not to look at examples when I'm painting, so that's my fault if things don't exactly look how they're supposed to.
All in all, it just feels very, very moving to look at. Like a lot is happening, but it also just feels so relaxing. So I think that might be one of my favorite pieces that you've done.
Thank you.
So, to close off, do you have any advice for artists who are trying to get more into it? They're having a hard time staying with it. Do you have anything that you would say to them?
Yeah, with creating art, sometimes you can fluctuate between feeling inspired or feeling completely dissatisfied with the work that you're putting out. So I think the biggest thing that helps me is just to use the word play again,
Right.
to allow yourself to not take your work too seriously.
Just have fun with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have fun with it. I also really love taking paints as many colors as I can, and just, if you're stuck, just splatter stuff or get a really big canvas. Sometimes working with small canvas, it's almost a little bit limiting, and sometimes you just need to be able to let loose a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, Emily, and everyone be sure to submit your own artwork to portals.com for a chance to be featured in this year's issue. Submissions are open until March 31st. Thank you.